Yo, 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 good morning. Grateful for another maggot-free day above the dirt, Jersey Shore. Check it out. So, the last video was about using quarantine as an opportunity to do a retreat, and it really focused on the struggle with just simply making the decision to use the time in a more productive, beneficial way for our spiritual practice. So today I want to talk a little about what happens, after we make that decision and we're still struggling with actually what we do in a retreat. So I'm going to focus on meditation. And the first thing I'm going to say, the truth bomb I'm going to drop, is bad meditation is good meditation if you're present for it. If you are aware of how your meditation sucks, your mind doesn't stray from how it sucks, and you're not adding judgment or a narrative about it sucking, then you're doing excellent. So I know that sounds kind of strange, but there's no benefit to sitting stoically for a period of time and thinking about something completely, off the mark, like fantasizing about something, being somewhere else, feeling something else. And that brings us to a couple of hindrances. Meditation is not about creating an experience different than what is present. And it's not about getting out of here. It's about grounding ourselves in what is, in being present for the way things are, no matter how they are. So that's why bad meditation is excellent if you're present for how bad it is. Doesn't mean we don't try to make our meditation better. Of course we do. But any meditation that we're present for is beneficial, because we train the mind, we train our consciousness in sitting and staying with whatever is. And that's the difficult part. We want to avoid. We have aversion to what we don't want to be with. So there's other types of meditation, guided, visualizations, mantra meditation. They're all great. They all serve a purpose. But my meditation that I feel is the most important is Shikantaza, which is Japanese for just sitting. And what it means is we just sit. We don't add anything to the experience. We don't try to create an experience. We don't avoid any experience. And a lot of times the misconception that comes with this is our goal is to stop our thinking. Now, those two issues, goal, there really is no goal. And I know having no goal is a goal in a sense, but on a different level, having no goal frees us from expectations of a result, right? So that's what it means by having no goal. We accept whatever happens. So the mind thinks. That's what it does. It's a muscle. It's no different than our heart beating or any other involuntary bodily functions that just happen on their own. This is not to say that critical thinking and contemplation is not a part of meditation or a part of practice, but there's a huge difference between choosing to think and getting swept away in the thoughts that the mind is just spewing. Now, sometimes the mind does spew important things that we need to deal with. Sometimes we need to stop our meditation and really think about what came up. Other times we can just note it and say, hey, you know what, that's important. I'll deal with it later at a different time. I'm going to continue my meditation. So we're not trying to stop the mind. We're trying to stop ourselves from being attached to the thoughts that rise and being swept away out of the present moment, away from what is, into an experience we create by what we're adding to it in terms of what we think about it and a narrative. So we let things come and go. And I'll talk more about the actual mechanisms of how to do that in a different video. But right now I just want to be clear that we're not putting effort into stopping the mind. We're putting effort into not being controlled by the mind. And does the mind get quieter? I prefer to think it gets quieter simply because when you don't feed that train of thoughts, when we don't fuel it, it just kind of slows down and eventually almost stops. But it's still going. We just can't feed it. So we have a responsibility there. So while the mind does what it does, it will either, we can either affect that in a positive or negative way by our relationship to it and our habitual reactions based on that relationship. It's not easy, but that's why it's critical to realize bad meditation is good, because to get to a point where you want to be in your meditation, you have to realize this is part of the process. So you're not a bad meditator. Your meditation isn't bad per se. It's part of the normal process we all go through and will continue to go through. No one gets to this final point of perfection, right? We're always in this process of working on strengthening our tools, our application of the tools. Okay, so I hope that was helpful. And if you want to follow me on social media, Jeff Eisenberg Kirtan and Rock and Ram Kirtan Band and Fighting Buddha Dojo, all on Instagram. Please go to YouTube for Rock and Ram Kirtan Band music, for Jeff Eisenberg Kirtan. On YouTube has my solo music and Dharma talks, and Facebook, Jeff Eisenberg, as well as Rock and Ram Kirtan Band. Also, I'm offering one-on-one Buddhist sessions, so if you're struggling or you just like to deepen your practice, have a conversation, have some questions, feel free to hit me up. Have a grateful, maggot-free day above the dirt, and peace out.